Hello everyone, welcome to this cooking tutorial on how to make everyone's favorite chicken Alfredo. Listed here are the ingredients we'll be using. And here we go. First we want to wash our 4 ounces of mushrooms to get the excess dirt off, and then we want to remove the stems and slice them about 1/4 of an inch thick, making sure we use 2 fingers to guide the knife and keep our fingertips back. Once sliced, set them aside. Next, we want to cut and trim our fresh green beans. We are clipping the ends off to remove the stems and make our cuts more uniform. A good trick is to grab a loose bundle in your hands, and using the palm of your hand to ensure they're all even. Then, with one cut all of them at once, and do the same for the other side. Then, we are going to cut our green beans to a bite-sized length, about 2 inches, and set those aside. Next, we are going to mince 6 cloves of fresh garlic for our Alfredo sauce and green beans. Remove the cloves from the bulb and peel. There are a variety of ways to do this. One is to cut the ends off and using the tip of the knife, slice down one side and peel back the paper. Another, more efficient way, is to place the knife on its side and smash the garlic down with your hand. Or, if you're like me, using a garlic press, you can put the whole clove in and squeeze the garlic out. Then, using the remover, pop the paper right out. But for this video, we're going to mince using the smash method. Just make sure that the blade is facing away from your hand when you smash. Once the garlic paper is removed, you mince the garlic until it is a nice small mince. Once done, set aside. Next, we are going to prep our chicken. First, we are going to line a sheet tray with heavy-duty aluminum foil and place a roasting rack on top of that. This helps keep our pan clean and we won't have to scrub afterwards. Start by drizzling olive oil lightly over the chicken breast, then, using salt, black pepper, and garlic powder, generously season until the chicken breast is coated evenly. Then, rub the seasoning and oil into the chicken breast. Wash hands and repeat on the other side. We are searing the chicken breast before slicing it. This will help keep the chicken from drying out in the oven. Next, on high heat with a little bit of olive oil in a large enough saute pan to fit the chicken breast almost to where they are not touching. It is important to use the correct pan size here in order to get a proper sear. You want to make sure that you get a nice sear on one side before flipping and searing the other side. Searing the chicken first and finishing it in the oven helps seal in the juices, preventing your chicken from drying out. Once seared, place on the sheet tray and put in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes initially, and more than likely an additional 8 to 10 minutes more. But we do this to make sure that we don't overcook the chicken. Remember, you can always cook it more, you can't cook it less after the fact. Next, using the same pan, on high heat, add 1.5 tablespoons of fresh garlic and our sliced mushrooms. Stirring frequently, we want to scrape the bottom of the pan and remove all the fond. As you will learn, I am very fond of fond. Additionally, we add a sliver of butter to enhance the flavor by adding some additional fat. Once the mushroom is caramelized, add 1/3 cup dry white wine. Here we are using Chardonay, but you can use any dry white wine like Pinot Grigio. Stay away from sweet wine in this recipe. We're reducing the wine a bit until slightly reduced and slightly thickened, or nappe consistency, which would coat the back of the spoon and set aside. Next, to make our Alfredo sauce, on medium heat in a sauce pot, we're going to make a roux as a base for the sauce. I prefer to use a roux to help thicken it before I added the cheese. I find not using just cheese to thicken the sauce helps when reheating for the next meal, and sometimes cheese like Parmesan can overpower the other flavors in the sauce. For example, the white wine and the mushrooms. Once you realize you have the wrong size pot and the lighting is bad, quickly switch to the right pot you probably should have started off with. So, equal parts, butter and flour for a basic roux. 2 tablespoons of butter and the rest of our fresh garlic. Melt the butter until it's completely melted and add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Whisk until well incorporated and turn down your heat to low so you don't overcook your roux. We want to get a nice blonde roux. Cooking the roux longer will change the flavor and the thickening power, which we'll go over in different stages of roux in another video. Once your roux is nice and smooth, turn the heat up to medium and slowly whisk in 1 cold cup heavy cream and 1 cold cup 2% milk. I foolishly used the same container here to measure my milk. I suggest using a measuring cup for more accurate measurement. After mixing in the cream and milk, add the mushroom wine reduction and bring the sauce to a slight simmer. Once the sauce reaches a low simmer, add the shredded Parmesan cheese that you forgot to film doing by slowly sprinkling it in the sauce while whisking. The sauce should be slightly thickened to the point it coats the back of the spoon. If the sauce is too thick, add more milk. If the sauce is too thin, add more cheese. Add salt and black pepper to taste. Next, for the pasta, on high heat, bring a large pot of water to a boil, adding half a box or 8 ounces of fettuccine pasta. To help ensure your wide fettuccine doesn't stick together and get pasta logs, drizzle in 2 tablespoons of olive oil and using long-handled tongs, stir the pasta every 1.5 to 2 minutes, or until the pasta is done cooking, about 7 minutes total. Straighten the pasta and return it to the hot pot and add your Alfredo sauce to the pasta. Stir together until well incorporated. The residual heat from the pot will help keep your pasta warm. Lastly, for the green beans, I like to cook my vegetables by sauteing and steaming in the same pan. We do this by using a saute pan with a lid. Start on high heat. Once the pan is hot, add the fresh green beans and about a 1/4 cup of water. Cover immediately. This will effectively steam your green beans slightly to keep them green and crispy. Then, all we have to do is saute in butter and season. It should take about 1 to 1.5 minutes. If there is still water in the pan, just slide the lid slightly to the side and pour the water out. Next, add half tablespoon of butter, salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Cook until the veggies start to caramelize, then adding 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and toss to coat. Check the doneness and remove from heat. Next, we are going to cut our cooked chicken. Off camera, the chicken cooked for an additional 10 minutes on top of the first 20 minutes, about 30 minutes total. I then took the chicken off the wire rack and wrapped it in aluminum foil on a sheet tray. This helps keep the chicken warm and lets the meat rest, which will help retain its juiciness. Since the chicken breast is so thick, we are going to cut the chicken in half and then on a 45-degree angle, slice the chicken into half-inch strips. To start plating, we will start with the pasta. A neat trick I did off camera, genius right, is using a carving fork. You stick it in the pasta at an angle and twist until you get a good amount of pasta on a very tight twist. You then place it in the middle of the plate and using tongs, take the pasta off the fork. Once you have a nice and tight pasta nest in the middle of your plate, place the sliced chicken on the side of the pasta. Make sure that you play around with your plating while your food gets cold and try to find the best angle for filming, while also make sure your viewers on your cooking stream are seeing the best angles. And there you have it, homemade chicken Alfredo. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. You can check out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/do2do, where every Tuesday we try and do a cooking/educational stream around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.